How y'all doing? I hope you all are doing particularly well this evening. I hope that your day has been full of amazing moments. I hope that as you and I are running into each other here now in this video, that you have been feeling motivated. If not, that's okay. I definitely have my days where I'm not feeling motivated. I have my days where I'm feeling tired. And I'm currently feeling tired, but it was a good day. How are you? How are you feeling? I, for one, am very excited to get into this video, even though I know it doesn't really sound like it. I am very excited to get into tonight's video because it was an eventful day for me, which is part of the reason I'm as tired as I am. Alrighty. So, just sit back and relax and prepare yourself for some yapping. Some yakety schmackety, if you will, as I've heard some people call it, yakety schmackety. Oh my goodness. So before we get started, I like to show my tree. Happy February 14th, if you are watching this on the 14th. This is Valentine's Day, and I think showing this rose quartz tree is fitting. The 13th is like, I'm actually recording this the night of the 13th. So as I talk about what I did today, you'll be seeing this the next day. So there's that. But before we continue, I don't know if any of you watching this remember, I did a video a while ago where in order to celebrate a friend of mine, her birthday, we went to a place called All Fired Up, which is like a pottery place where you can go and you can do pottery. And I got my figurine that I painted back, and I wanted to show you guys. Here it is. I made a mushroom. I painted a mushroom. So I painted the bottom. I put a little J on it for Yasha. And then this actually is marbled, but you can't really tell. It's really dark. Like, I tried to get it with a marbly look, but I think I needed to do like lighter colors if I was gonna do that, because this is pretty dark. But the marbling you can kind of tell in different lighting. But I love this. I'm very into mushrooms. I have my mushroom ring, and I have a mushroom keychain on my keys that I absolutely love. So, mushrooms are pretty great. So I got this back today, and I'm very happy about it. But before we continue, have you had water today? Are you wearing chapstick? Are your lips ashy at the time that you're watching this? You can avoid that, you know. You can get some chapstick. And you can also get some water. So let's drink some water together. Just brush my teeth, so the water is nice and cold. Let's get into it. Today was a phenomenal day because I did something that I was not necessarily prepared to do. I usually do not plan these videos. For those of you that are new, I don't usually script these videos, I just do them. So this particular series that I do, Soulful Yapping, you can go to the playlist that has all of these videos in it. And these videos are updates about my day. I do talk about spiritual stuff sometimes. I do certain like guidance videos occasionally. And my dad actually recommended that I do a series that is specifically for spiritual stuff, and then leave these vlog videos in their own section, which I might start doing. So we'll see that You know, if you guys are interested in that idea in the comments, let me know. But again, you never have to comment, you never have to like, and you never have to subscribe. I enjoy it because it allows me to engage with you all better, and I can kind of talk to you and get your ideas and get your thoughts on things and just enjoy the little community that's being created here. 5 minutes and 15 seconds as I say that. I've been seeing a lot of 515s, and 5 represents change, new beginnings, or not new beginnings, change, travel, uncertainty in some cases, things like that. So, but yeah, I do these videos unscripted, and I do these particular videos every night. There are quite a few. If you're looking to watch more videos that are in this style, that are like this, I have quite a few videos. But this morning, when I got up, yes, this morning, when I woke up, I asked my inner child to take the lead, and this is something I'm going to recommend that you all do. I recommend that when you first come to consciousness in the morning, you ask either Spirit, Divine, God, Allah, Source, or your inner child or your higher self to take the lead. While you're coming to consciousness and you're lying there, focus in and say, hey, could you take the lead? Because, oh my gosh, when I tell you, my inner child, Spirit knows exactly what I want. It knows exactly the pathing that I'm choosing to take. And yours does too. If you're watching this video, you are locked in. And your spirit is waiting for you to start engaging with it. The more you engage with spirit, the more you engage with that higher consciousness, or the more you engage with your inner self, your inner child, the more locked in you're going to be. And when you're locked in, your intuition is stronger. You'll be able to trust your gut more. It's just going to be so much different for you than the confusion that you've had in the past. 7 minutes and 7 seconds as I say this. There are definitely going to be times where you're still confused. But it's one thing to be confused and afraid that things aren't going to work out. It's another thing to be confused, but to also be really comfortable because you know that no matter what happens, Spirit has you. Your inner child has you. You are safe. You are loved here. So, this morning, I woke up and I asked my inner child if she could take the lead, and she said absolutely. She got way, way, way excited about it. I sat up and I was going to, I don't know what I was going to do, but I ended up checking my phone, and the thought that I had as I was checking my phone was, we should stream a video game today. Now, the topic of this video is doing what makes you afraid. Because I have been yapping for 12 years about wanting to stream video games, particularly on Twitch, which is a platform that is very popular for having people who stream video game content on there. I've been wanting to do this for 12 years. I haven't done it. There have been many reasons. One is fear of new things. One is fear of looking stupid. The other is fear of judgment and critique. Not constructive critique, destructive critique. A fear of not being as smart or as put together as other people. I had a laundry list of reasons. But it's been 12 years. Every time I got started, I either wouldn't have the stamina because I would see all of the shit it took to get started, and I'd be like, oh, that's just too much, and I would just stop. And now I think, if 12 years ago I had started and kept going, I would be so much further along. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'm actually glad that everything is happening the way it's happening now. So, back to the story time. 9 minutes and 9 seconds as I say this. So my spirit, my inner child said, I want to stream a video game today because I want a game today. And I was like, okay. And so I talked to my sister this morning. She popped out, and it was interesting because the apartment just happened to be empty. So nobody was here to ask me questions, to need me to go out and do anything. So I had hours by myself. So I started prepping my gaming wig. For those of you who saw the video that I did, yeah, that wig is a bit difficult because it already came pre-made and it has like flowers hot glued into it. So the wig is wigging. I have to figure out a way to fix that. But I started working on my wig and I started to get nervous because here's the thing. My inner child did not care that I was not ready. Spirit didn't care that I didn't feel ready. That's really what it was. I didn't feel ready. And I was like, well, we don't have like a beginning screen. We don't have a streaming soon screen. We don't know how to put the chat on the screen. We don't know about sign-ons. We don't even know correctly how to do audio. And my inner child, she said, I don't give a fuck about all that. And I was like, of course you don't. Of course you don't. How could I expect you to give a fuck? She never does. And after I prepped my wig, I messaged my best friend and I told her how nervous I was. I historically have been a perfectionist, and I've been doing a lot of things recently that have made me uncomfortable, but it's never been like this. The thing about doing these videos in the closet that I do to you all is it's just me in here. There's nobody else. By the time you all see this video, I don't have to look at it again. I can literally post it, and if I wanted to, I could turn off notifications and I wouldn't see anything. I wouldn't know what you all felt or thought about the videos, 11 minutes and 11 seconds as I say that, and I would just be comfortable in this place of not knowing. But whenever I've thought about streaming live, it has been absolutely nerve-wracking. And it's because there are people who are watching you mess up. They're watching you make mistakes. They're watching you not know what you're doing. It is a very different game, like playing field for me. I've sung before. I've performed on stage before. But again, it's different when you're in front of people and you can kind of gauge how they feel about what you're doing. It's just different. I've always had, and I said this in a bunch of videos when I first started, but for those of you that don't know and are new here, I have always had online anxiety when it comes to engaging people in an online space. And I've had that anxiety because when I first started trying to game online when I was younger, like in middle school, people were dicks. They were so mean. And the minute they found out that I was a girl, that the insults just flew, and it was a lot. And it was something that emotionally at that age I just was not prepared for. Just wasn't prepared for it. And I've had anxiety about engaging with people online for years. It's kind of similar to my dislike of being on the phone. I used to have a fear of being on the phone because the thing about me is that I can read people when I'm looking at them, right? So I can gauge how a person feels about me and about what I'm saying based off of their body language when we're talking. The reason I hate being on the phone, I hate being online, is because you can't read people that well. Even in Zoom calls, you can't really get the vibe as much as you can in a face-to-face, like actual real play space. So I was shitting bricks this morning. And I'm talking to somebody. There is something that you know you need to be doing, and you are afraid. Like you're scared shitless, and it's making you very uncomfortable to think about the fact that this is something that you need to do. And I'm here to tell you that you are going to absolutely adore yourself for taking the chance and just doing it. Excuse me. Just pushing through and moving forward. I put on my wig, I put on my little outfit, I put on my jewelry, and I sat at my desk and I pulled up everything, I set everything up, and my setup is pretty, it's rigged up because it's not, it's not like I haven't put a lot of money towards, you know what I'm saying? 14 minutes and 14 seconds as I say that. And I hit stream, like I hit go live in the system that I was using, and then I hit record. Because I felt in that moment that my nervousness, my awkwardness, my discomfort, I wanted to get all of that on camera. Because the thing about doing something that you've never done before, 14 minutes and 44 seconds as I say this, the thing about doing things that scare you and make you nervous is, once you've done it once, you'll never do it for the first time again. Isn't that cool? If you are nervous about posting music that you've been writing and you want to put it on SoundCloud, or you want to start posting it on Instagram, or you want to start posting your stuff on YouTube, the reason you have that feeling in your stomach and you want to throw up, you're constantly rushing back and forth to the bathroom, is because you've never done it before. 15 minutes and 15 seconds as I say that. This is a new chapter in your life, my love. So it's gonna feel uncomfortable. Even though you've been doing all this preparing, even if you've seen my other videos, even if you've been told by other people, other spiritualists here on social media, even if you've been being prepped for so long, that initial nervousness and discomfort is still going to pop up because you're doing something you've never done before. I got on there and I was nervous as hell. I rewatched the recording that I had, which, by the by, if you're interested in seeing it, I have created a playlist here on my channel that's called Tato's Playground, and essentially anything that I record that has to do with gaming is going to go there in that series that I'm creating, because I intend to keep doing this because I had a blast, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So I was on there and I was confused. I'm telling you, I'm looking at the screen, I'm seeing all these options, things that I thought were simple that just kind of happened on Twitch. Turns out, Twitch as a platform does not do everything. In fact, the other program that I was using, OBS Labs, is the program that actually did a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff didn't come along with it, so I would have to download things from various websites. And girl, my brother in Christ, when I tell you that shit was nerve-wracking, it was nerve-wracking. But it was only nerve-wracking for maybe about 30 minutes. It seems like a long time, but it wasn't. It was only nerve-wracking for about 30 minutes because then I had been sitting there for a while trying to figure it out. And I'm so glad that I recorded it so that I could see the first time I figured out how to remove the echo from the audio. Am I going to have to figure that out again? Most likely, because I stumbled upon it by accident. The minute that I realized how I could do certain overlays in the system and all kinds of other stuff that I had to figure out to do, I was able to capture my excitement. As you are doing new things, this is one of the reasons why I've been trying to, and not just me, but other people on here, on social media, have been saying you need to record and record in some way your journey right now. Whether it be journaling in a notebook, whether it be in your notes app in your phone, a Google Doc, whether you take photos and you take videos, or you do like voice messages to yourself on your phone, whatever you need to do, do it. Because the first time will never be the first time again. And you'll be down the line and you're going to have times where you doubt yourself, and those recordings will be great for you to look back on and go, I did that. 18 minutes and 18 seconds as I say that. I fucking did that. So if I could do that, then I can do this. If I could push through that fear of posting my art for the first time, if I could cross that fear of submitting the photos that I took to that local competition, that photography competition, if I could push through that fear to do that in 2025, then I can push through this new fear doing bigger and better things now. It's so funny. When I first looked at the recording after I did it, and I looked back on it, I could tell how nervous I was, and I could tell that I was uncomfortable in front of the camera, because the way I talked was different. How I talk to you guys right now, it's as if I'm talking to somebody and I'm just talking to them. But it's because I've had practice doing this. I've been doing this every night for almost 2 months now, if not that. But I don't have practice streaming on Twitch. I don't have practice talking and gaming because I've never done it before. 19 minutes and 19 seconds as I say that. My love, you have never done the things that you are being moved to do. You've never done them before. Again, that's why you're nervous. That's why it's uncomfortable. Because you've never done it before. That's why you feel awkward doing it. That's why a lot of you are trying to get it perfect first, because you've never done it before and you're afraid of looking stupid. My dear, you have to push through that fear. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the ability to push the fuck through it. That's what courage is. You gotta have courage as you're on this journey. This is the thing about doing like spiritual work, or any type of being on any type of path that you're walking along, is there are going to be times where you're nervous. There are going to be times where you feel challenged. Like, it's easier to do shadow work at home in private where nobody sees you. It's a lot harder to be authentic and to mess up and make mistakes in front of people. I was live on Twitch, meaning that if anybody was just typing in random shit or went looking, they could see me. At one point during the stream, there are about 7 people viewing. Some of those people were people, I don't know if, one of the people, I don't think they're following me on YouTube. They were a person who came off of Twitch. But the cool thing is that there will be people who pop in to assist you when you're afraid and when you're on your journey. I would like to thank personally Psychedelic Zuki. Thank you for popping in to the Twitch stream. Thank you for being there. I so appreciated your support. I so appreciated you being in the chat and letting me know about the audio. That shit took forever. For those of you watching this video, it took forever. And what's funny is I watched another video where somebody talked about the fact that it literally took them 4 hours to figure out how to get their stream set up, because it's not intuitive when you first start doing it. It's a lot of technical stuff, and I'm not a tech person. I didn't do software engineering. I've never been like I know how to do C++, computers and programs and all of that. I've never done shit like that before. I might as well have the brain of a person who's like 60 or 70 when it comes to that. Like, the amount of times I had to rewind the same YouTube video over and over and over again in order to try to get one single piece to do what I needed to do. What's funny is my audio actually started off fine in the video, and then I clicked on something and messed up the audio and couldn't figure out how to fix it. But then, Psychedelic, you came in like gangbusters and you assisted me. So thank you so much. You did not have to be there. You did not have to take the time out of your day, but you did. And I so appreciate you for that. Oh my gosh. Like, it was amazing to have that support. So those of you, when you're doing new stuff, Spirit is going to bring people to you. They're going to bring people. They're going to bring help. You're not in this alone. You are not in this alone. I know sometimes it feels like you're in it alone. Sometimes it feels like it. But as you walk the path, your job is simply to start walking. 23 minutes as I'm about to say this, there is a phrase that I used to hear coming up, growing up in the church, which I am no longer a part of. And one of the things that was said frequently was, let me get some water. I have a little bit of cotton mouth. One of the things that was said often is, just start walking and the Lord will move everything into your path, but you got to start walking. And this is something that I actually believe works when it comes to the divine, when it comes to spirit, when it comes to just how the universal energy works. You've got to start walking. You have to put that energy out there, that you trust, that you're moving towards the things that are on your path that you've asked for. And those things belong to you simply because you want them. That's it. There are things that you don't want right now. There are things you don't even know that you don't want because they're not for you. That's not what you came back here to do. Somewhere, there is a person who wants to buy an island, and they want to build a massive resort on that island, and they want to bring all these people in, and they want it to be the first resort where everybody comes and you can do a barter system and you don't have to spend money. There are so many ideas that you guys aren't even thinking about that somebody else has a dream and a vision of doing. That's because that's not your thing. It's not on your path. But the stuff that you want to do, that's been placed on your spirit, it's been placed on your heart, that is what you are meant to be doing. Oh my goodness. That is what you're meant to be doing. And as you are walking that path, the people, the places, the items, everything that you're gonna need is going to find you simply because you have dedicated to walking the path. Something that I think that would be beneficial to you, something I suggest you do, is to ask yourself, what is the path that you want to take? Some of you have already asked this, but some of you who are watching this video haven't yet. What is the path that you want to take? Write it out and then dedicate to it. Say, you know what? Come hell or high water, I am going to walk this path because I believe that it's worth it. It's going to be far more worth it than sitting around doing nothing and doing the same shit I've always done. You owe it to yourself. By the nature of you watching this video, you owe it to yourself to look at the shit that you want to do for real, and get serious about it. And I understand that the fear, it can be crippling. It can be crippling. I've spoken to at least 3 people who've been telling me about things that they want to do and things they're excited about, and as soon as I'm like, well, why don't you start doing something small like this? Oh, I couldn't do that. Oh, I couldn't do that. That's just a lot for me right now. Well, then start smaller. Break the steps down into almost teeny tiny finite things. If you're afraid of posting your music on social media, start small. Start by memorizing your own song lyrics and singing it to yourself, to where you have your song memorized. Start there, to where you have the tune memorized. Record yourself singing it on your phone. Or record, plinkering it out on the piano. And have it and listen to it and get used to listening to it. Some of you, your path does not mean that you have to immediately go out there and be in front of everybody. Sometimes you just need to take the first steps, and then once the ball starts rolling, you'll be good to go. But I tell you what, that video was almost 2.5 hours long. I think it was 2 hours and 24 minutes that I recorded. And then I posted it on YouTube. And I just want to share with you guys how happy, how absolutely giddy I was when I hit post on YouTube and that video started up when I first went back in to make sure that everything was okay. I was like, I can't believe we did this. After reading articles on how to get stuff set up on Twitch, after watching YouTube videos, after just relaxing and not really being moved to do anything, I went from have never streamed before, did not know the process, did not understand how complex the process was, this morning, to at 5 p.m. today, knowing how hard it is, knowing how long the process took to get set up, and knowing the things that I want to look up so that I can do those, so that I can do it better. And also having a video under my belt. The whole video isn't a gaming video. It literally starts an hour and a half in is when I started gaming, and then even after that I took a break because I thought I was going to be able to play a video game on there, but I didn't realize that with OBS Labs, which is the system I use, it won't, I can't play certain games on my PC. Did not know that. Learned that today. There was a lot of stuff I learned today that I didn't know. But I pushed through that fear, and you can too. You can push through that fear too. Something interesting also that I noticed, that you're gonna notice, is that I've heard people say, well, I want to do this thing, but the amount of effort it's going to take, it's just going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of effort. Then here's the thing. Anything worth doing is going to be a challenge. It's going to take effort. But something I found interesting today that you are going to find, I'm so excited for you. The thing that you're going to find is there is a difference between working hard at shit you don't care for versus working hard at shit you've always wanted to do. I am exhausted right now. Like, my brain feels like mush because of all the tech stuff I had to read through. I even had to go on Google and look up certain words that were used, that people were using in order to describe how to set things up on Twitch. I had to go look up the definitions because I did not know them. So a process that would take a normal tech person not that long took me forever. Guys, it took me forever. It was a forever situation. But I was having so much fun the whole time. Even as I was frustrated, even as I was just glazed, like my eyes glazed over in some cases, and I'm just staring at the screen like this, like, what the fuck am I doing? I still had far more fun and felt far more fulfilled than I've felt doing anything else. Anything else. Does this mean I'm gonna be a video game streamer? I don't know. I'm not rushing anything. Because I'm focusing on what I talked about in my last video, which is it's the journey. The part of this that is the most fun for me when it comes to doing this content here, my soulful yapping stuff, when it came to recording that video and uploading it to YouTube and doing posts on Instagram and stuff like that, when it comes to that, it's the journey. It's the act of doing it that made me giddy, that made me happy, and my inner child was just beaming. She was like, I can't believe you finally did this. 31 minutes and 31 seconds. She was so proud. She's like, I can't believe we finally did this. You don't just owe it to yourself to do these things that you're wanting to do. You owe it to your inner child as well. The version of you that believes that you can have the world. The version of you that doesn't have a cap on their dreams. That part of you. That's why you have to lock into that part of you every day, because that part of you wants the thing that you want even more than you want it, because they've been wanting it longer than you, the adult version of yourself, have wanted this. Your inner child has wanted this for so long, and they're fiending for you to lock it the fuck in. But pushing through fear can be hard. It can be tough. That's why, I don't know if you guys ever had this situation, but whenever it's like the summer and I'm going swimming and people are like, jump in, the water's fine. 32 minutes and 32 seconds as I'm saying this. And I like put like a toe in the water and it feels a little cool. I'm always afraid to get in. So what I would do is I would step down a little bit by a little bit, and it would just be getting cold, and I'd just be standing there doing this, and my youngest sister, would walk outside, close the door behind her, and she would jump into the pool, cannonball. And she would come up and she would tell me, Yasha, it's a lot easier if you just fully submerge yourself. The shock is going to happen. It's going to be a little uncomfortable at first, and then you're good. Some of you, take your time. Do not feel like you need to rush. Some of you will resonate with that message, but some of you will resonate with this message, which is you need to just go in for it. You need to just go for it. What you lose by taking too much time to think about it is you lose that momentum. When you have a really good idea and you've thought about it for a while and you're like, okay, I'm going to do it. 33 minutes and 33 seconds as I say that. If you've been thinking about an idea for a while and you're like, I'm going to do it, the longer you sit and you think about it, the more time your brain has to react to this new information to try to stop you and to say, oop, that's new. That's dangerous because we could be rejected. Oh, that's dangerous because we could be judged. That's dangerous because we could be critiqued. Let's not do that. And your brain will give you reason after reason after reason to not do it. Your mind will justify you staying in the exact same place that you're in right now because it wants to keep you safe. You don't need that in your life. You want to be able to go through this, to jump in the waters of this new life. You'll get a little shock initially, and then your body's going to acclimate, and the water's going to be perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So I did the video, and then as I was playing the game that I was playing, that moment happened where I realized how much fun I was having. And while I was gaming, I heard a notification of a new follower. And it was somebody I knew who was supporting me and who followed me. but it was such a sweet sound. I've been watching streamers on Twitch play video games, and then a notification will sound and they'll say, oh, thanks for the follow, thanks for the bits, thanks for the chats, thanks for the subscription, thanks for the gifts, thanks for the 25 months. I've been hearing Twitch streamers be about that for like 12 years now. And I never thought, even in my wildest dreams, I never thought that I would be sitting at my desktop playing a video game like Stumble Guys, and I would hear my own notification pop up, and I would look at my screen, and lo and behold, I have a follower. I never thought that would happen. For me, it's not about the followers, it's not about the subscribers, it's not about the likes, it's not about the comments. It really is about feeding my inner child. It's about doing the things I've always wanted to do and not allowing other people to tell me that it cannot be done. You can do this. You've got this. Whatever it is that you are wanting to do, whatever it is that you are moved to do, write a book, build a home, design a new plan, a new education plan for your school system. If you're wanting to show up at your job and you're like, yo, I've got all these initiatives that need to be put in place, the things that you're excited to do that will change the course of how things go energetically on this planet, do it. We are waiting. We want to see it. We want to be a part of it. And you have it in you to push through the fear. You do. I know it doesn't feel like it. I know it doesn't feel like it, but you have it in you. Trust me, as your boy said from the Polar Express. When Billy had his gift, spoilers for the Polar Express, but when Billy had his gift and he was like, no, and they were like, you have to put the gift back so that Santa can go and deliver it, and he was like, no. And the little elf was like, come on, it's in good hands. Trust me. My whole family, my dad paused it and he was like, I don't know if we could trust that elf. That man sounds suspect as hell. But trust me when I tell you, it's worth it. It's worth it because I'll never have a first time again. I thought about streaming tomorrow, which I don't think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to work with the program to try and figure some stuff out tomorrow. But I'm not afraid to hop back on there. I'm not afraid of talking to an empty room, an empty chat room, because that was another thing. I don't want to look stupid. Newsflash for me, everybody looks stupid. Everybody looks stupid. The people that you see doing the thing that you want to be doing, and even the people who you see doing things similar to the things that you want to be doing, they looked stupid too. Everybody had to start from ground zero to get to where they're at. Everybody. I was listening to this podcast that I was watching, and these guys were all talking about their original setups, and how one of them said he had his phone, and he had it sitting on a chair, angled at his TV, and he would just play video games, and he would only play like 10 minutes, and then he would post those recordings because he didn't have a lot of room on his phone. When people who really want what they want, when they lock into that passion, the passion is stronger than the fear. They don't care how it's going to look. They don't care how it's going to come out. They don't care how it's going to sound. What's important is that you get it out. And some of you are backed up creatively. Ooh, I don't know who I'm talking to. But some of you are backed up creatively because you haven't been posting. And by posting, I use the term post because that's like the most common term for everything. But some of you have not been putting your creative energy in a place where it is physically outside of your body. Whether that be recording your music on like a file that you have, whether that be taking your digital art and saving it on your computer and categorizing it by date, categorizing it by art that you would like to submit somewhere. Some of you, the reason why you're hitting these creative walls is because you're backed up. You've got a lot of stuff that you've been working on for years and it hasn't gone anywhere. So there's a blockage. Oh, my love. Oh, I feel that. I feel that so heavy. So what you got to do is you got to find an outlet for it. You got to find a creative outlet. So many of you are creative types, so you have to find a creative outlet so that that creativity can flow, so that art can flow through you, so that those organic ideas can hit the ears and the senses of other people so that it can do the work that it is meant to do. I believe some of you have creative ideas that you're very passionate about, but the idea itself doesn't belong to you. It actually belongs to a collective consciousness. And that idea has landed on you and is something that developed in you because you were meant to put it out there. But even you don't know the impact that your art and that your ideas are going to have on the people that you put it out there for. Even you don't know. You don't know the full extent. You can dream about it, you can think about it. But there's so much that you don't realize that you provide the world energetically, physically, emotionally, intellectually. There's so much, and it's time for you to get it out there. So, I did that video, and then I figured out how to create thumbnails. I didn't know how to create thumbnails on YouTube. If you look at every video in this series, it's literally the thumbnail is a picture of me in some type of stagnant position. And that's all I had. But today, I learned from a YouTube video how to create thumbnails for my videos so that if they pop up, the thumbnail itself sticks out so that other people, when they see it, they can click on it. It's an attention grabber. So that somebody, if they're the slightest bit interested, they can come in and at least get 5 seconds of what I'm doing and decide if they want to stick around or not. I didn't know how to do that before. Now, no matter what videos I do, I can create thumbnails for them. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. So excited. And something else that I realized was that because the majority of people in my life right now, they are focused on the things that are going on with them. 41 minutes and 41 seconds as I'm saying this. So this is very important for some of you, or for one person watching this video. This is important. As you are doing the things that you're excited about, do not be in a rush to tell everybody about what you're doing, because other people are not going to understand why you are so emotional about it, why it's so important to you, why you've wanted to do this for so long. That passion, that yearning, that desire inside of you to do it belongs to you. It was grown in you. It is connected to your very existence. Other people will not see it or feel it in the same way that you do. You might have people who join your cause, who join what you're doing and who assist you. So like I have people who are like, I'll edit your videos for you. Or people who are like, I'll help you with sound. I'll help you with camera work. But those people will not truly understand why I tear up. You know? And it's not because people are bad people. It's not because they don't want to understand you. It's just because the path and the journey that you are walking is yours and yours alone. When you lock in to the fact that you want to do this because it is a passion, not because you're trying to impress people, not because you're trying to be seen. I mean, those things are okay too. But primarily at the core of what you're wanting to do, it has to be something that your inner child wants to do. That's what's going to help you. Turning it into a passion, it is what's going to keep you moving when the mundane happens. Today, I had many moments where I was working and I wanted to stop, but when I looked over at my computer and I saw that I was live, I couldn't. It was really interesting. I think one of the biggest reasons that I was moved to record this process was to prove to myself that I can sit somewhere for 2.5 hours and figure shit out if I needed to, because I always felt like I didn't have the stamina to stream. I've seen people do 2-hour streams. I've seen people do 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Some people stream for 12 hours straight. And I was always like, I can't do that. I don't have the attention span, or I can't do that because I don't have the stamina or the dedication. Yes, I do. I 100% do. I watched it today. Something about myself I didn't realize. So as you're going through the things that you're going through, you're going to learn things about yourself and you're going to be pleasantly surprised. There are going to be some things that you learn about yourself that you're not too gung-ho about, because that's a part of the process. But the cool thing is that the journey helps you know yourself better. Knowing thyself is a part of the journey. It's a part of the path. So, it was an incredibly good day. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I loved that my dad hopped in there. He created an account just so that he could follow me. So now, whenever I move out, if I'm streaming and he gets a notification and he's not doing anything, he can literally have my stuff playing on his TV while he's cooking or while he's doing other stuff. Crazy. Crazy. Something that started to happen, and I moved to share this, something that started to happen was I noticed I was getting less views on my videos, and I noticed that I wasn't getting as many comments on my videos that I was posting. And I started to feel a little down, like maybe 5 days ago. And I meditated on it, and Spirit reminded me that when we started not expecting any comments or likes or views. We started doing this with the intention to do a video every night of being truly authentic, no matter how uncomfortable it got, truly vulnerable, no matter how uncomfortable it got, and I was moved to do it every night regardless of the level of engagement I got. Because this whole process is actually for me. That is what I was told. And I started getting subscribers, I started getting comments, I started getting likes, and what happened was I then started to focus on it. I started to care. So something that I think that you should be wary of and you should be aware of is when you go into things and you've already set the precedent of, I'm not going to read the comments, or I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do this. You have to have a way to remind yourself of that when you're tempted to look. Because this is the double-edged sword of you actually getting engagement on your content, is that when you start getting engagement, it starts mattering more to you. And then when engagement slows, because it always does, to a certain extent, it's always going to ebb and flow. Even a lot of the greatest streamers talk about the fact that they'll post a video and it doesn't get a quarter of the likes and the views and the comments that their other stuff gets. The minute people have to switch channels, the minute a person who's been a YouTuber this whole time has to switch to Twitch or vice versa, you lose some people in the crossover. It's just a natural part of what happens. The minute you start looking at that stuff, you've got to have something in place to help remind you that that is not what it's about. It's about how it makes you feel when you do it. Because the minute you start obsessing, and I'm talking to myself too, the minute we start obsessing over the likes, the subscribers, the followers, the reposts, the minute we start focusing on that, we literally step out of the path and we start doing the same shit that we were doing before, which is seeking the approval of others, wanting to please everybody so that we can be validated. That's not where you want to be. It's not where I want to be. What was I about to say? Excuse me. I forget what I was about to say. But this whole process, it's not just for me. My friends are seeing this, my very close friends. My dad's been looking and he's like, man, I have content that I want to post. And now he's looking at creating content and posting it. You never know who you affect by showing your bravery and by pushing through that fear. That fear is a lie, because the fear and that feeling, when the real thing happens, when you start getting locked into it, you realize it's not that bad. The fear literally blew everything out of proportion. Everything out of proportion. Just really happy. Really happy about the whole process. It did exhaust me a bit mentally, like I said, and spiritually. So I'm excited to get to sleep. Ordinarily, I listen to music before bed, but I don't think it's going to be one of those nights. I think I'm going to post this, and then I'm gonna move on with my night as far as going to sleep. Not back to sleep, but going to sleep. But yeah, man, you've got some great stuff coming down the pipeline. Ideas, motivation, inspiration. And for so many of you, it's just reaching out and taking it. It's reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this world a better place. Na, na, na. Reach out. Reach out and take the thing by the horns, grab it by the balls, whatever it is. Reach out there and do it. Because once you've done it for the first time, broken record, it will never be the first time again. And then you can build on it and you can move forward with it. My brain has been so tempted to try and figure out like a posting schedule and to figure out the type of post and the type of content that I'm going to do. And my inner child is like, no, we take this one day at a time. I literally wake up in the morning and I decide what I'm going to do when I wake up. So that's the energy that we're on. It's the energy that I'm on. And listen. You all have got this. You, my love, you've got this. You've got this. You are powerful. You are capable. You are capable. You have what you need to get things done. If you're like, well, I don't have this on, you have something. You have something. You have your voice, your ability to speak on things that need to be spoken on. You have it. You have the power. You have all the power here. Soon you will have it all. Both great covens and an ironclad peace treaty with the Lycans. Which I hope will not be forgotten when the spoils of success. I love Underworld. Michael Sheen is so good in that movie. He's so good. Very attractive man. But yeah, man. So I think that's all I have for you guys. I think that's all I have for you this evening. It's interesting though, because as I've been focusing on like the content and kind of developing that, the soulmate stuff is not like hurting my spirit as much. And I think it's because I realized I'm a project person. I like having things to do. I like having things to take care of, things that I can put my creative energies towards. And I feel like when I'm doing those things and I'm really locked in and I'm happy, if I turn around and my soulmate happens to be standing there, that's the best kind of surprise for me. That's the best kind of surprise. Instead of sitting around waiting every day for something to happen, to get busy. I think that's why a lot of people say you will typically find your soulmate, or you'll find your partner, or you'll run into the right person when you least expect it. Because when you're focusing on self-growth, you're focusing on doing the things that bring you joy, when you're focused on being creative, you don't sit around all day every day yearning, you know? You still yearn, you still want it, and that makes sense because it's something that it's on your path. Like, again, by the nature of you wanting it, it's for you. So it makes sense why you would want it. But those of you who are focusing on stepping out into the world and showing up as your most authentic self, as you're doing that and as you're working through that, when your soulmate shows up, it's going to be a whole different scenario. It's like, for me, I'm really happy because I actually have stuff going. Like, I won't meet my soulmate during a time, or not during a time, but I won't meet my soulmate and be like, yep, I was just waiting for you this whole time. It's like, no, I actually have stuff. I have interesting things that I can share with my soulmate. So when that man comes up to me or messages me or who, you know, whatever, however that happens, and he's like, so what do you like to do? What are you into? I could be like, oh, well, I like to do content creation. I occasionally play video games and stream them on Twitch. Like, it just, oh my God, it just, try this. The thing that you're wanting, pause this video and try this. Try imagining a conversation with your soulmate, imagining your conversation with your dream person, and they ask you, what do you like to do? What are you into? Like what are you doing? And your answer is describing your dream passion to them. And saying, oh, I do this, and see how excited your inner child gets at that vocal confirmation. Not only are you talking to your dream person, but you're talking about your dream. You're talking to your dream person about your dream life. Bro, does it get any better than that? I don't know. I don't know. But man, oh man, it was a phenomenal day today. And then I was able to do a little bit of energy healing for my pops. And that was pretty fun. I enjoyed that. I'm trying to think of anything else that I did. I pretty much, spoke to my bestie for a little bit. Took care of some things around the house. But yeah, man, I feel so fulfilled. I feel so happy that I was able to do that video and I have that to watch, and I can go back and I can watch it when I start doubting and when I start getting upset or afraid. And I can look at it and say, no, I am capable. I can do this. You are capable. You can do this. My love, we've got this. We've got this. We've got this. Use this period of time that you have. But also, 55 minutes and 55 seconds as I'm going to say this, my spirit, divine, let me in on the information that I needed to rest because I was going to be doing a lot of work. And I understand now why I was resting so much. The nervousness of doing the video today and then the streaming and the tech and trying to figure everything out took it completely out of me. It took it out of me. For those of you who've taken like standardized tests like the ACT or the SATs and you wanted to sleep forever afterwards, yeah, it's like that. It's like that. That's how my brain feels. So I'm about to get out here and go to sleep. But I want to leave you with you have no idea how good it actually gets. Like how good it actually gets. And some of you, it's because you've never seen it. You've never seen it. But you want to see it. You're about to see it. It's about to happen. Some of you, you want to create a clothing line. And your clothing line idea is actually dope as hell. And there are going to be a lot of people who are into it. Some of you are inventors. You have a lot of great ideas. And now is the time to start locking in to that information. Lock into it. Lock into it. There's so much information out here for you to get your business started, or for you to get your content going, or for you to make that move to that new location, that dream location. Start applying to these jobs. Even if you're not qualified, start applying. Start applying. If you're trying to get that dream editing job, or you're trying to get that dream, whatever the job is, whatever the thing is that you want to do, start applying now. Do not wait. You do not have to wait for things to be perfect unless your spirit personally is telling you to wait. But most of the time, y'all aren't waiting because you're not waiting because you need to wait. You're waiting because you're afraid. But I'll tell you what, the longer you wait, the longer you'll be waiting. The longer you'll be waiting, my love. So come on, join me. Join me on the highway of life by moving into your space. The space that is yours, the space that is meant for you to enjoy. Move into that space and start playing around. Move into your playground. Let's go. Let's start building sandcastles, swinging on the swing set, sliding down slides, because that is what doing these things that you're passionate about is going to feel like. 58 minutes and 58 seconds as I say that. That's what it's going to feel like. I love you guys so much. And I want to see the things that you're doing. I really do. So if you guys have any new stuff that you're doing or any ideas, feel free to put them in the comments so that I can hype you, because I love that. That's one of my favorite things to do, because when one person feels good and you hype them, it has like this synergy of positive energy. That's why I love hearing about my sister's successes. I love hearing about my dad's or my mom's successes when they are genuinely excited about it. And I like hyping them because it does do something to have people that are excited I find it so weird. Like, randomly, I'll be talking and I'll just become hyper aware of my voice and the fact that it's the only thing I can hear. Does that ever happen to you? It'd be happening to me sometimes. But anyways, yes. So, that is what I have for you. I love you all so much. You are at the beginning. You are at the beginning. I know for some of you, you feel like you've been working at stuff for years, but really, 2025, you are at the beginning of this new journey. You're at the beginning of something new. And what is the new thing? It's you actually walking into that space that you've been dreaming about this whole time. I didn't think it was going to feel like this. When I imagined streaming for the first time, I'm going to be honest, I never imagined streaming for the first time. When I used to fantasize about streaming video games, I would only ever start it mentally being way further along. I never thought about what that first session was going to feel and look like. And I'm so glad that I didn't, because I was so pleasantly surprised by the whole process. So pleasantly surprised. It was great. It was amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better first session. Step through that fear. Push through it. An hour and 1 minute as I say this. Push through that fear. Your inner child is cheering you on. They want this. They want this with you. They want this for you. They want this for y'all. For you as a unit. And we, the collective, want it for you too. So again, if there's anything that you're passionate about or that you're excited about and you're fearful of, you can put it in the comments. You will receive support, at least from me. At least from me. Because I know you can do it. I know you can do it. It would not be on your heart if you couldn't do it. It would not be popping back up for you if you couldn't do it. It wouldn't be. And I believe that. Well, anyways, my loves, I think that's all I have for you this evening. I'm going to show the rose quartz tree one more time. I love this tree so much. It's one of my favorite things ever, is this tree. I love it. And I can probably, yes, look at that. I can actually separate these branches even more. I can separate them even more, and I can bend them so that they go out a little bit. I love this. It's so pretty. They're so pretty. Oh my gosh. But you've got this, my love. We as a unit have this. You and I, we got this. We got it. We got it. So I want to see you working. And by working, I just mean getting to it. I don't really mean, because I really do feel like once you start doing the thing that you want to do, you're not going to feel like it's work. You are going to be tired because it's new. It's different. But it's not going to feel like work. And for some of you, this is why your shit's happening gradually, by the way, and then I'm going to shut up. For some of you, the reason it's happening gradually is because you need to train yourself to be able to accept full shit as it comes. My best friend, 3 minutes and 3 seconds, as I was about to say this, my best friend, who I shared with you all her jewelry stuff, she has people who are ordering her stuff. Her stuff is picking up. And it's because she is locked in. She's following her passion. She's following her stuff. So when I get the website that she's going to have with the pricing and everything, I'm going to probably post that somewhere. Because again, if y'all have shit that you're doing, I want to hype it. Especially if I look and I see that you're passionate about it, you're making it happen. I want to support you. I want to support y'all. But anyways, that is all I have. I hope that after you finish this video, you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Be kind to yourself. Be loving to yourself. Pat yourself on the back for the things that you've been doing as of late. Pat yourself on the back. I don't care how small it is. Pat yourself on the back. 4 minutes and 4 seconds. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of the work that you're doing. And I want you to dream big. I want you to get comfortable with these big dreams. Get comfortable with the scale of the shit that you want. Get comfortable with it, because that's where you belong. You belong up there where the birds are flying, making things happen, where the birds and the dragons, the sky, which is their domain, that's where you belong. You don't belong down there with the disbelievers, with the unbelievers, with the people who were like, well, I guess that's just too big of a dream for me. That's not for you. That's not your space. Those aren't your people. 4 minutes and 44 seconds as I say that. But anyways, I love you all. And as I do things and as I move, I will post things. I'm enjoying the posting on YouTube because some of you actually are seeing it and you're commenting and you're liking, and I like that. So I think if I have any updates, I will be posting them on YouTube. I'll also probably I'll start posting things on Instagram. But yeah, so I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I am fucking loving this journey, and the fact that y'all are here witnessing this with me, it's crazy. It's crazy. And last thing, remember, take it one day at a time. Take it one day at a time. Don't stress yourself about trying to immediately scale up in your mind. Do not stress yourself about trying to figure things out right now. Some of you, you just need to take that plunge and start working on it. Start getting used to this momentum, and then you'll figure it out as you go. It will come to you. The information you need, it will come to you when you need it. 5 minutes and 55 seconds to say that. Okay, that's all I have. I love you guys, and I will holler at you most likely tomorrow night. Mwah. Bye.